It's time for your Low Country real estate market update. It's the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show. Brian is one of the top 1% real estate agents in Charleston. Find him online at listingsincharleston.com. That's listingsincharleston.com. Or call him at 843-345-1273. Now, broadcasting from the WTMA studios, here's your host, Brian Beatty.
Good morning and welcome to the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show here on the Big Talker, 1250 WTMA. Great to be here this morning. Thanks for joining me. We've got a lot to discuss this morning. If this is your first time tuning into this program, I talk about residential real estate. I talk about the housing market, the financial markets, and how that impacts you, the person that's maybe interested in buying, selling, or investing in real estate, or someone that just wants to learn more about the process. You're maybe preparing for a move at some point in the future. You just like being educated on what is likely one of your most valuable assets, and you want to know more about how to develop a winning strategy based on current market conditions in order to get the best deal possible on a house you can buy, sell, invest in, so on and so forth. So that's what I do. That's what I talk about. And I rely on my experiences as somebody that's been selling real estate here in the Charleston area for, this is my 13th year now. Done about 1,000 transactions in our market. And I do this show on the weekends. It's quite therapeutic for me, actually. And it allows me to really tell you guys like it is. You know, as a real estate agent that also has a radio show, there are times in which I want to kind of be that natural-born salesman that I am, which allows me to succeed in my job. But on this program, it really just allows me to tell you guys like it is. I don't need to worry about your opinion because I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the facts and the figures of this market that make it tick and that you need to know so that you're an informed consumer. So I'm in the studio this morning. Would love the opportunity to speak with you on air if you have a question or a comment. We're going to bounce around on a few different topics today, but the number in the studio is 843-556-1250. Again, that's 843-556-1250. Feel free to call in. Or if you'd like to reach out to me personally, you want to talk more about buying, selling, or investing in real estate, you want to learn more about how my team can help you, my number, my cell phone, which you can call or text, is 843-345-1273. Again, that's 843-345-1273, or go to listingsincharleston.com. That's my website, listingsincharleston.com. Lots of great information on there. So here's what I want to talk about. The National Association of Realtors came out with a report stating that we are at a near all-time high for the number of members that have joined the National Association of Realtors. Yet our market as a whole, at least nationally, our closings are down compared to this time last year. So I want to talk about what that means for you. You know, with the number of members approaching its record and with sales cooling and a shift in the market, are there too many real estate agents out there? How do you choose the right one? So we're going to talk about that. I also want to talk about this idea of timing the market. Because if you, and again, I've been talking about this on this program for a little over a year, this upcoming shift in the market and what it's going to look like and what are the things we need to be watching for. And it's starting to happen. If you just Google real estate market update, you're going to start to see some articles that say we are in a shifting market. Buyer sentiment is down. Closings are down. Prices are becoming stagnant. What can you do as a buyer or a seller, as an agent? But there's not a lot of definitive information out there. It's a lot of just the same old standardized opinions and pieces of advice. So if you've read one article, then you've read 100 articles. So the purpose in this program is to give you guys the information that you need to make informed decisions and again, tell you like it is. So those are some of the things that I want to talk about. You know, how to time the market as a buyer or a seller. Is it possible? What do you look for? Who do you need to have helping you along in that process? So let's talk first about this report from the National Association of Realtors. There's 1.367 million members, which is approaching its record. And so with cooling sales and a shift in the market, are there too many realtors out there? We set a record in October of 2006 with 1.371 million. And that was about a year after home sales started to decline. which of course ushered in the Great Recession. So the number of realtors and home sales rose basically in tandem with one another during the recovery, which is at this point from 2012 to 2017. But interestingly, as over the past year or so, the increase in sales has leveled off, and in some instances started to go down, while the number of agents that are hitting or entering the market continue to go up. And it was the same pattern in 2005 when home sales began to fall, but the number of realtors continued to rise. It's a bit of a lagging indicator, quite frankly. But there's a guy named Mark Zandi. He's the chief economist over at Moody's Analytics, which is a company that provides economic research regarding financial risk, performance modeling, so on and so forth. He had an interesting quote. He said that NAR membership is linked to home sales and prices with a lag. Home sales have gone flat over the past year, and so will memberships as well. So why is this important? Why am I telling you this morning? And again, I'm in the studio live, and I'd love to take your questions, comments on this. Curious to know your thoughts. Have you had an experience with a real estate agent that maybe they were new, maybe they were perceivably inexperienced, but it went really well? Have you had the opposite of that, which I imagine would be the case more often than not? Do you have questions about the process? Feel free to give me a call in the studio. The number is 843-556-1250, 556-1250. And so, again, why is this important? Competition between agents is very high. It continues to grow. There are more agents, less closings, and even less listings available for sale, which decreases per agent productivity and makes it harder, in a sense, to earn an income in real estate, whether you're brand new to the business or you're somebody seasoned like me, because new agents and less listings available is in and of itself diluted market share. So let's get local for a second. And I haven't verified this, so please excuse me, but I've been told that by a number of people that I trust, that Charleston is the second most saturated real estate market per capita in the country. We've got a little over 7,000 real estate agents in the Charleston market, and we've got a little over 5,000 listings available for sale. And despite all of the development that we've seen in Charleston over the past several years, Charleston still does a really good job of maintaining a small town feel, in my opinion, which also means that people are, and it's the South, so people are usually pretty plugged into their social networks. And just about everybody knows somebody or is related to somebody that's a realtor. And this is, again, it's part of the reason why I love doing this show so much, because it just puts me in a position to be myself and to position my questions and statements in a way that aren't skewed by an interest in earning your business. It's simply to help you think and to educate you and to make sure you're doing the best you can for yourselves. And so the question is this: is it reasonable to assume that an agent that's done, let's say, 1,000 transactions can save you more money, more time, and more stress than a new or inexperienced agent can when buying or selling a home? And that's why I encourage people to interview at least one more agent if they already have someone they're considering hiring. Maybe it's an acquaintance, maybe it's a friend or a family member, but at least it might help you form a more professional relationship by seeing how other agents approach their business. Maybe there are some things that agent you interview does that's more impressive than what your friend or acquaintance or family member is going to do for you. And maybe that's okay that, you're passing up something that might be slightly better or slightly more valuable because you value your relationship with your friend or your acquaintance or your family member. And so this is kind of the question that I want to pose here is, let's say it's a friend. Do you like your friend so much that you would send their entire family on an all-expense-paid cruise? Or do you like them so much that you would pay for one of their kids' first year of college? Or do you like your friend so much that you would buy them a new BMW? Now we've kind of put some real-life things associated with the amount of money that I see some people leaving on the table. I can't tell you the number of times I've seen transactions mishandled that cost their agents and their clients tens of thousands of dollars. And it's not my job as an inexperienced agent to tell them what they're doing wrong. It's my job to protect my client and get them the best deal possible without breaking any laws or ethical violations or compromising my own moral standards. What I'm talking about in most instances is just incompetence or ignorance, and it's having a real impact on their client's financial future. So among this growing sea of realtors, how do you choose the right one? What is your own internal kind of break-even point for the amount of money that you might be willing to lose or leave on the table by going with the relationship over the professional? How do you interview somebody to make sure that you're asking the right questions and you're setting the proper expectations? Because regardless of whether they're your friend or not, you are hiring them, they represent you, and they should be doing the best they possibly can, which means that you need to have a relationship that's professional in nature for that period of time, and to not let your friendship skew a lack of performance, lack of skill, so on and so forth. So let's talk about that when I come back. How do you interview an agent to make sure that you get the best deal possible when buying or selling a home? Again, I'm in the studio taking your calls. The number is 556-1250, 843-556-1250. Or if you'd like to reach me and my real estate team, visit me online at listingsincharleston.com. Stick around. This is the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show on the Big Talker 1250 WTMA.
Visit Brian Beatty's website at listingsincharleston.com. The Brian Beatty Real Estate Show continues next on the Big Talker 1250 WTMA.